What is up, guys? It's Adam from Nerdology, and I got a cool new tutorial here for you today. This is something that I actually haven't tried out yet, so I'm very excited to try it with you guys today. We are actually going to try to make a Batarang from Batman vs. Superman and the Justice League. I also have some new updated information. Natalie, she's out back on some different stuff that we're going to be doing. I'm working on making a couple new pages on Instagram, Facebook, and even working on making a Weebly website that I'll be able to upload my videos to. So I will get a video put together for that for you guys to tell you guys about that stuff and whatnot. And until then, you know, this is just something new that I came up with. Yeah, I know it's upside down again. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get the camera working correctly to where I can put it the way that I need it so that you guys can see how I'm doing it right side up. But I was just kind of bored sitting around the house. I actually just watched Suicide Squad this morning, which is actually what got me thinking, why not? Believe it or not, I've actually seen it like 4 times in the last 2 days. Because, well, my sisters got addicted all of a sudden. But anyways, watching that movie got me thinking, why don't I try making some of the different stuff from the movie? I wanted to try and make a replica version of either the Joker's or Harley's pistols, but that's very hard to do when you don't have anything really to build with. So I figured, why not try making a Batarang? I almost said boomerang because of Captain Boomerang, but no, a Batarang. So I'm going to show you guys, you know, the simple basic necessities that you'll need, and we'll see if this turns out correctly. So first of all, you're going to need some foam. This is just some regular green foam that I got, or that my mom picked up for me from Dollar Tree, I think it was. Came in like a pack of 10. I'm using green because, well, I don't have enough black left, and also with the green it's a lot easier to show you guys what I'm doing. You're going to want to have a hot glue gun and some extra glue sticks lying around for this, because you're not going to get one Batarang out of just cutting out part of the foam. It's going to take a few layers. So obviously you're going to need an X-Acto knife, or what you call them in my house, a box cutter. Optional to the box cutter knife are scissors. These are just basic Cutco scissors. You'll want a file set. These are files made by Needle Files. You've got all different kinds of files and whatnot in here that chances are I'll end up using. Has a couple of screwdrivers and whatnot. I don't know really what I'll need, but we'll just figure it out as we go along. Also, you're going to want, this is just a basic mana from Magic the Gathering. I think I showed that to you, right? Yeah, it's just a Plains mana. So basically, you're going to want to draw the pattern for your Batarang on the card. You can't really see mine here because it's dark colored because of the black Sharpie. I'm kind of trying to focus in on it a little bit so that you guys can see. But as you guys know, my camera's kind of old and I've got to get a new one, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do about the whole crappy camera ordeal, and then Sharpie. So that's about everything you're going to need. I'm going to start by using my X-Acto knife. I might use the X-Acto knife, I might not. But basically you just want to cut the Batarang out of your card first. So I'm going to use the scissors. Just going to cut through this real quick. Really, it shouldn't take too long depending on the Batarang design that you're using. And this is going to be a lot of cutting, so you're going to want to clear space. And please get permission if you're under like the age of 13 to use the hot glue gun and, you know, an X-Acto knife and Sharpies. Just because it can get kind of messy. So make sure you have a clear space and whatnot, because really having a clear space can come down to whether or not everything gets cut out properly. Because if you don't have enough room, you can really kind of mess stuff up. So I'm using the scissors to cut out the Batarang in particular from the card, just so that I can make sure that all of my angles are correct. And then once I know that all my angles are correct, it will, I should be able to use the X-Acto knife on the foam, because the X-Acto knife, the Batarang will already be traced out, so the angle should be fairly easy to pick up with the X-Acto knife onto the foam. Just cut that out. Also, on the card, I measured out where I want to shave down with the files so that it looks bladed. Also, with the foam, sometimes you get little snags and whatnot of extra foam cut out and left over from it, so you can use the file to shave those down. So there's that. That's the basic print layout that I want to use and shape. So now you're going to want to get your craft foam out, and you're going to want to try to work over in the corner the most. That way you don't have to cut off too much. Now you're probably going to want a cutting board, is what I forgot to mention, so that you can, that way, like if you're working on a table or something, you don't cut into the table. You're going to want to get the Batarang wings, tail, ears, however you're doing it, lined up fairly well with the corners. That way you don't have to cut off too much. Hopefully you already have your hot glue gun plugged in if you're using one. Some people prefer to use super glue because it's a little bit easier. You don't have to heat it up and it's not as messy. But I prefer a hot glue gun because it dries a lot faster, and with the foam you'll want it to dry fast. So just be careful using your X-Acto knife, because you want to make sure that most of this, see, I kind of messed up a little bit there, so I'm going to line that back in. If it becomes a problem, just kind of cut off the tip of the ear there and shave it down a little. Okay. So just keep going with your X-Acto knife. Try to file the edges down perfectly along with it. As you go, chances are you might waver off the line a little. That's fine. Just try to get all your edges correct. Sorry if my head's kind of getting in the way. I'm not meaning for it to. Okay. Hopefully, it should just pop out fairly simple. If it doesn't, just go back in with your X-Acto knife and cut out those little corners that want to stick. Boom! By now, you should have a perfect little Batarang shape. If you don't like, because see here, it's kind of a square, whereas here it's got more roundness. Just go in again trace it out. Boom. Boom. So, what you might want to do next, you can either use the card to do that again, or you could just trace out using the Sharpie. You'll want to get close to the same spot where you were before. You can use this Sharpie. I recommend using black just because it works out a lot better and you can see more clearly what you are doing. If you couldn't really see the pattern that I was using before, when I pulled the pattern away, hopefully you'll be able to see it a lot better. Yeah, it doesn't show up too well. Then just take your X-Acto knife again. This time I'm going to use a little bit shorter of an etch out on the blade. And then, boom. Like I said, you want to get as close to the inside of the black line as you can. Now, if you're using an X-Acto knife like this, and the blade is a little too short for you, maybe you're using some thicker foam, just go ahead, extend the blade out a little bit more. If I was using some thicker foam, which I probably should have, but really I'm just kind of using what I have, you know, I would definitely go full blade, but and chances are, if I was going with a thicker foam, I wouldn't have to use, or I wouldn't have to make so many layers. But this one's really gonna kind of be tough. This is, I think I mentioned this is the first time I've done this. So I'm really kind of just hoping, praying that it works out well. Ooh. Apparently I snagged a little bit more than I was supposed to. Oops. So once you get your second one cut out, you're going to want to take your first one and get your hot glue gun. And put some glue on there. And what I would do is I would take part of your cut-off magic card, kind of thin it out a little bit. Now your foam is probably going to bend a little bit. Ow! That's hot glue. See, so that's why some people... that hurts. Some people like to use super glue a lot more. Ow. That hurt. And then what you might want to do, take your first cutout from the card, place it down on there to flatten it out. Boom. See? And then that will actually be in the middle. Now, I realized that I put a little bit too much on there. And then just put a little bit. Okay. Then just take your second printout, put it right on there. Push it together. And you might want to use the Sharpie just to roll over it. Get that little bit extra rolling in there. Ow, that is definitely hot glue. And then you might want to use one of these, so what do we got here? Yeah, no, not gonna use this. So basically what I'm gonna do is in the end, once I've got it all put together, I'm gonna use the X-Acto knife, cut off the excess of the glue. Now you're gonna want to get your foam back out. That should look really interesting by now. Now I'm probably gonna do another 1 or 2 parts on each side. And apparently I'm going to have to X-Acto all this crap off. Okay. Then get this back out, your handy dandy Sharpie. During this, it's going to be just about your best friend. Sorry if you guys can't really see what I'm doing. Really, I'm just tracing it out right now. What I might do is, just to get through this crap a little bit faster, is use the scissors. Okay, cut as close to the inside as you can. Okay. This part you really kind of have to be careful with. Really, no you don't. I'm just kidding, but Yeah. Okay. That looks kind of crappy. Good news. Should turn out fairly well. And again, just working at the edges. Oops. Okay. So far it's looking like I might only have to go one more layer, and I'll do it on this side because this side's thinner. So far I'm liking how it's turning out. Looks pretty good. Okay. So it's looking pretty good. I gotta do one more layer, and then we finally get to hit the, not quite sanding part, but we're going to file it down just a tad bit if we are able to. Yeah. Trying to fit a chair in here so I can kind of sit down when it comes to filing, because filing is not that simple. Okay, that worked out. See what we can do. Okay, so this is the thinner side. I got it, Dad. Give me just a second, guys. Hello? Yes, one second. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I'm back. Now, I think we were at the part I'm cutting out the fourth and final bat. Okay. Being the fact that it's the fourth and final bat, once we get down to the whatchamacallit, filing, won't be too big a deal because it's on the outside. It's probably a good thing that we did all of the gluing on while we were going, because it'll be a lot easier to just get it glued on.
Changeover is not covered, so they're going to have to get a fire authorization.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. See there. There. We got it. You're there. Yeah, and you're there. Yeah. Here, right there. And there. And then we can take and trace it around there. Come on, don't be a pain. Okay, there we go. Now, real quick before we can pop it out, let's just get this final edges. Be sure that's not necessary. Pluck that off. And then it should just be super easy to pop out of place, like I said it was. Get it on the thin section. Finally get that out of the way. And boom. Okay, and the final press down for gluing. No commentary is necessary, Jordan. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, and that was the final glue on.
Don't forget.
Yeah. Zoink. And just go through, peel off all excess gel. Okay. Now, for the fun part. Files. You might want to start not with a cubed one, you want something more spherical. Which apparently I don't have. Okay, cube will have to work. So basically, just gotta go over go through, trim up the edges. It looks fairly good. I think that I could have done a little bit better, but for a first time, it's not half bad. What I might do, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go through, change my mind again. Basically, I decided I'm gonna use a wider blade. Change my mind again. I'm gonna do it. Then use some foam that's left over. Actually, nope.
I need you to come to this house, sir. Oh, I'm afraid McGee's rerouted me, son. Sir, there's a child here that's really excited for you. We cannot let him down. I can let him safely.
Okay, now you're going to, because of how dry it is, if you can't roll it off like I just did, then you'll have to cut it off with an X-Acto knife, but luckily I don't have to do that. It'll be nice and perfectly dry in just a second. Ow, that burns. See, that's why you should always get parental guidance when doing this. Don't do what I just did, kids. You gotta peel that off in there. Then do the other side of the wing. stuff like this happens. No big deal. Burning chestnuts, that hurt. Burning pains, burning pains. Only a few burning pains. Dang it, it's caked on there now. Exacto knife. If it comes down to the exacto knife, please be careful. Maybe you should get like a wooden dowel or something to do this job, because it is a pain. Thank God that in the end it will all work out. Hopefully. Also coming up soon, I have a Batman Gauntlet tutorial I'm going to be doing, hopefully, if I can ever get through this Batarang. Hopefully the Batman will come up. Ow. Okay. So, make sure to keep your eyes open for that one too. That burned. That was extremely hot. Try to keep some glue off, or try to keep the glue off of your cutting board if you can, because you're still going to need that later. Hot. Extremely, extremely hot. Shut up, Jordan.
I got yogurt.
Good for you.
And you ate hot.
Okay, so it looks like that's finally starting to dry.
Is there black ones in it?
No.
Oh, it's just colored black.
Okay, it's finally dried. So once that is done, you're going to want to get a different file because, well, that one's covered in glue. Just very carefully.
Adam better hurry, the boys are coming.
Very carefully go over that if you have to. I heard you.
No.
Maybe later. Okay, so I just found this triangular shaped one that will work for going into these little cracks and crevices. That was disgusting. Dude, you put yogurt on my ear. Damn it, Jordan. Okay, so what I forgot to do was the top of the bat. I noticed there was something missing because there's actually quite a few gaps and whatnot inside there. So you're going to want to make sure you do that as well.
You need a new one. These are the glue sticks.
Fill that with glue. Eee, gloppy glue. Thank God we're gonna have to,
Oh, Dad's gonna be mad.
Why?
Because there's glue all over the place.
I'm gonna clean it. Ow. Pain. Pain, 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 pain.
I know how you feel.
Okay.
Bruh. Bruh.
Yay, it's mostly dry. Ow, that hurt.
Buddy, can I tell you a joke?
Sure.
How do you make one disappear?
Put a G in front of it and it's gone.
Good job.
Okay, now get your triangular file.
Okay, now can I tell you a different joke?
Sure.
For the rest of the video, I'm going to tell jokes. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Oh, don't cry. It's just a joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
But
What? Who?
it's not a sentence.
Oh. So, now you're going to want to take this knife and just as careful as you can kind of cut off the edge here. Just the outside edge though, because you don't want to cut the inside. But hopefully this will help when it comes down to filing it.
How many subscribers do you have?
More than you. Yeah.
I got 20.
Sure you do. You have one video.
Please subscribe to my channel.
No.
Patty, tell me the voice dropped off a little bit.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Please don't think that I'm violent.
You know, I might have to actually go ahead and grind this down. So, but for now, I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully when I'm done, what I want to do is I want to edge all of this off, kind of like the one that you see in the movie. So I'm going to work on trimming up the outside lines and whatnot. And Jordan, Patricia, don't you do it. Don't you, I told you not to.
But I
Anyways,
have to do something.
so what I want to do, sorry, my ADD. So what I want to do is I want to grind this down to a fine line on the outside. I can get deal with that. And etch all of this down. Yeah, told you so. Anyways, and sand all that down and
What's
whatnot.
Caucasian?
Jordan, Patricia. Okay, anyways, so until next time, guys, please continue to be nerdy. And if I don't get to my next tutorial, I'm going to try to do a YouTube live stream for Christmas. So please make sure to check that out. And I will see you guys later. Nerds out.
Nerds out.
If I can never get this mouse back on track. Nerds out.